How you doing out there? This is John Wayne Mercure. It's January the 4th, 2020, my daughter's birthday. And hey, I wrote a sonnet here and I wrote a bunch of these about water. Water, all right? We got to have water. Our body's 60% water. And I write a lot of sonnets about water. Why? The Columbia River, I'm talking to you out there, American Citizens United. The Columbia River runs right into the ocean, and it's more than a mile wide. I want a aqueduct, a big pipe, 20 feet wide, like the one, I'll talk about that, the ones where Owens River Valley, that kind of aqueduct. I want it from the Columbia River all the way to Lake Mead. And that's not so far either. And they're going to say, oh, it's too expensive. We can't do that. And we can't do that. Hey, that aqueduct, the Columbia River to Lake Mead will fill up in 10 years. And everybody will have plenty of water. And besides that, I'm going to show you there's other ways to get water. And I write sonnets about it, and I want you to help me. I want that Columbia River aqueduct to Lake Mead done right away. Get up off your butts. Do something for America. Do something for people starving for water. And I wrote this sonnet number 807. Yeah, I wrote it 11 years ago. Water. Wonderful water for cheap, clean fuel and drinking. We can use hydrogen for fuel. It doesn't pollute. Tap water, you can turn a faucet. I've always been, it's marvelous to me. And it's taken for granted that you can get clean drinking water available on demand right out of the faucet. Well, it's supposed to be clean. They test it. We hope it is. Billions of people die of dirty water, and we got clean water. What a godsend. Just looking into a well. My dad used to have me do that. Dug in the ground. A well dug in the ground. It's all musty and it's all moldy. Just drinking such water must make a person ill, germy, and filthy. Things in the water, they make people sick, infested with bacteria. And besides that, there's salamanders down there and spiders and oh, that water, and people drink it. But if you're being forced to live without clean water, you're the living dead. You just don't know it yet. People haul in water for miles. It's carried in buckets, and it's contaminated, usually slaughter of the poor, because they don't have clean water, living in corrupt third world nations. Third world nations with political leaders, they get in there and they rob everybody blind. They reap huge profits. Absurd contracts controlling water. These water contracts, there's no pity for the sick. The water contracts have got control of all that water, letting millions of people struggle to survive drinking deadly water, quenching thirst on fungal-filled, parasitic, infected water. Water tainted with fecal and urine contamination and chemicals. What do you think the fish poop? This critters go in there and urinate. Terrible consequences with dirty water. It's an avoidable evil. The United Nations should get involved and get off their fat butts. The terrible consequences of dirty water. You have to boil it. And boiled water, it cleanses and kills all the bacteria. It might not taste too good, but it's safe to drink. But usually there's no fuel available. The people in Haiti, you see it from the satellite, it doesn't have any forests. They cut them all down. Why? For fuel. And I'll tell you, we could use hydrogen, but usually there's no fuel available of any kind. Dirty water, soil water, it murders people by infection, dysentery, ugly cholera. Hydrogen fuel, I'm a champion for that. All right? I want that aqueduct from the Columbia River in southern Washington State all the way to Lake Mead, and I want it done right away. Why? Because it'll solve a lot of water problems. And hydrogen fuel itself, we can burn it. It's clean. You burn hydrogen, you get water, you get more hydrogen. It can be used for homes, to heat homes, for transportation. It can be used for cars. When hydrogen fuel is available at 10 cents a gallon for every nation, poverty is going to evaporate. Fuel to sterilize water, the dirty water. to power automobiles, to create prosperity. Fools in high office, those people, you can't trust them. Fools in high office, spiritual wickedness in high places. They take their stolen profits by thievery. Greedy people, they overwhelm sanity. Evil bureaucrats, they couldn't care less. Farmers, they need water for survival to let us have food. Parched farmlands in distress. Aqueducts could be built, harvesting rivers. The rivers run into the ocean. We can't let that happen. But wicked water lawyer contracts, they prevent those aqueducts from being done. I want that Columbia Aqueduct done now to Lake Mead. It's easy. They do it with oil. They run lines for oil. They run lines for gas. Why can't they do it for water? Nestle, big company. Coca-Cola, big company. Pepsi, big company. Pepsi-Cola. They use enormous amounts of water and steal all the aquifer water. And what happens when aquifer dries up is that other wells, they disappear because the water table drops. They're vampire wells, these big companies. See, corporations leave aquifers drain dry. Deserts, that's all that's left. Deserts of hell. Water is more precious than gold. And that's the way it is. We have to have water, sustaining all living beings. Terminal disaster if we don't have water. Drought-stricken nations. Fatal thirstings. The 2008 movie, Flow, for the Love of Water, the name of it, Flow, for the Love of Water. It's a must-see masterpiece. 2008 movie, Flow, for the Love of Water. The fate of a thirsty world depends on clean water for peace. Great nations will war over water. Hydrogen fuel for peace. The hydrogen fuel will purify the rest of the water. We can do this with hydrogen fuel, and that's what I want done. I want that aqueduct from the Columbia River. Help me, American Citizens United. From the Columbia River to Lake Mead. And all that water is going to come down and save a lot of farmers and a lot of thirsty people and with a lot of thirsty children. And we've got lots of development here. We don't have any water. There's the answer. And I sent it to these to the governor. And I'm just telling you, I need you. I need you citizens. You need to help me with this, all right? I need to get that aqueduct from the Columbia River to Lake Mead. And I need you to think about hydrogen. Hydrogen is the answer to everything. It doesn't pollute. You want a Greenpeace and you want to save the environment, it's hydrogen, because hydrogen, you burn it, there's no pollution. Most cancers will just go away. And I wrote that, and I wrote a bunch of them about that. Why? Because at least I told people, at least I got out here with a video and I'm talking to people, I need your help. I had a faculty with 80 teachers. They were wonderful people. And you know how I would ask them? I'd say, I need your help. I need your help. And they would help. Well, I'm asking you. I'm an old man now, and I need help. And I'm telling you, we got to help each other. We're Americans together, all right? Americans united, American Citizens United. I need your help with this, if you would. Hey, God bless us, everyone. Thank you for listening. Au revoir, mes amis. How are we doing for time?